Congrats on the win, Dame.
Appreciate it.
Want to ask you about first off that first quarter. You were 0 for 5 in that game, but I mean in that quarter. But then it transitioned to you, playing the game the right way. I know you spoke about that a lot at Formula Zero camp that you always have, but you get the get action from AJ. You fill in, you get catch and shoot. Then you do a get action with Giannis. Then you get a double stagger. All of those were off of catch and shoots.
Yeah.
Just talk about playing the right way and then not needing to take a million of dribbles to get your shot going and then getting into your bag work after that.
Yeah, I think you just gotta play the game the right way. Especially when you on a good team. I'm on the floor with a lot of good players, a lot of shooting. You out there with a guy like Giannis who's going to draw a lot of attention when he's getting downhill. So it's really no reason for me to force the action. There's nothing wrong with getting off of the ball and spacing. Because of that, that's been a huge part of our success is just allowing the ball to move. And, it ends up where it's supposed to when everybody's doing the right thing. And that's all I did. A lot of catch and shoot opportunities came because of our spacing and, the guys that I'm on the floor with. And it's just up to me to take those shots, be ready to take them and make them. I started off missing them, but I got a lot of clean looks, and I know from experience when you get a lot of clean looks, the ball might not go in sometimes, but, it creates a good rhythm. I felt good about the shots that I was getting. The ball felt good coming out when I was shooting it. And we were winning the game. So I just continued to stay aggressive, take the shots that was there, and just do the right thing. And then eventually, it came back around. So, that was it, just trusting the game and doing the right thing.
On your left up front.
Hey, Dame. So this whole thing is still 2 years old. Do you feel you and your team, you guys have been here last year, was there an easiness to preparation? Did it feel any different, the same?
I mean, I wouldn't say an easiness, but I think, I think we were probably a little sharper this time around. Last time we was ready, but, this time we came into it remembering our last experience, and, we came correct. We knew it wasn't going to be perfect. We played against a good team, but we prepared. It just felt familiar. It didn't feel like a random new thing. So I think that would be the only thing I would say. It just felt familiar, with us coming back for a second time.
Second row, Timothy.
Dame, there was a ton of what Doc called winning plays by you guys in the game, guys diving on the floor and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But what did Giannis and Brooke combining on that block on the lob to Clint, what did that do for you guys down the stretch?
I mean, it's a big play. I think anytime you get in a back and forth game where it's a one possession game, you're playing against a team that they lead the league in lobs. And, they got shooters all over the floor. They score points and they play at a high pace. So, once you get down the stretch, that last 2, 3, 4 minutes, the game comes down to who's going to execute offensively and who's going to come up with timely stops. And sometimes a good offensive team is, they're going to make great plays. And it was about to be a great play by them, that we defended just fine. But, fortunately for us, we got 2 7-footers in the paint that didn't give up on a play, and they both went after it. And, we was able to come up with a big stop.
Again, on your right.
Dame, how are you going to prepare to the finals? Speaking about today's game, you going to watch it live, or you going to just learn it from the news, who won, and see the film after that?
I mean, I play in the game, and then I watch games. I'm somebody, I go home and I try to watch every game if I can. I'm a major fan of the game of basketball. Anytime I can get an opportunity to watch a game, I'm sitting there watching it. If it's on my phone, on the iPad, on TV, or whatever. So I'm definitely gonna watch the game, and I'm gonna watch it with the idea that we're gonna be playing one of these teams in a couple of days and just see what's working for them. What they do. Even though I've seen them play a bunch of times, both teams. I'm going to watch them a little closer, knowing that we're going to see them in a few days. And then, obviously, we're going to do our team prep where we watch film and have practice and break down the things that we want to do once we find out who we playing. But that's really it.
Over here, third row on the right.
Hey, Dame, early on it seemed like that every time the Hawks were speeding things up, you guys sped up your offense. But later on in the game, especially in the fourth quarter, when they were turning the ball over, you guys kind of slowed things down and you went back to that two-man game with Giannis. How would you really describe the evolution of that two-man game over the course of the season thus far with Giannis?
Yeah, I think early in the game, obviously I talked about the pace that they play at. You know, they're one of the fastest teams in the league up and down the floor. And a lot of times teams that play at that pace offensively, they struggle to get back when the ball's going the other way. So, you know, I think that's why we kind of was pushing it the other way, because it's hard to get back when you play at that pace. And then as the game went on, it becomes a game where execution matters. You know, you don't want to be rushing through possessions. You want to have good quality possessions, and you want to make them have to defend, and you want to position guys where you want them, you know, to where it's in your favor. And you know, that was what we did. We went to that two-man game with me and Giannis on a clear side, so, you know, we had space and there was no extra defenders there. You know, we had Brook in the paint, so when they pre-rotate to Giannis, that high-low was working. They was able to execute that a few times down the stretch where you just throw it up and nobody's getting it. Nobody on that backside is big enough to get that pass, you know, over Brook. So us slowing down and just executing, you know, to where me and Giannis are the first two guys to make a play, you know, the first two options where we can make a play. And if not, we were positioned on the weak side to be able to take advantage of it how we wanted to, and, you know, it worked out.
Thank you, Dame.